I was saying, I'm hoping every one of us has interacted with the account, and we are therefore going to go directly into the training and make sure we cover um, the required areas, the most important areas within the shortest time possible. So welcome, guys. Yes. So as we might all have realized, Grape Data is a survey account to start with, and it's an account which offers a platform where different institutions, firms, companies, or organizations are interviewed about either different products they offer or different systems that they use in their institutions. However, we also have situations where individuals are also interviewed about different uh, issues or rather different things that they use in their daily lives. Therefore, um, that pushes us to a point where we have different types of tasks that we have to perform. I'm jumping off the point where I need to show you the platform. I'm assuming every one of us has it. I'll show it to you when I'll be demonstrating with a task. Yeah, if you have interacted with the platform, you realize we have different types of tasks. There are tasks which are indicated as solo, there are types which are indicated as multi-type or remote. And these two different types of tasks have a different way of handling them, which is not quite unique, as we'll be able to demonstrate in the end. Therefore, having said that, it's important to note that we have three types of tasks in this platform. We have solo tasks, we have remote tasks, and we have one-on-one interviews. Now, on the solo tasks, if you have interacted with the platform, before I even mention that, somebody could ask what is then the difference in remote task, solo task, and one-on-one interviews. Solo tasks are done with the assumption that you are the one who is handling the platform as the owner of the account, though you are working for a different, though you're working for a given institution. Um, though you're working for a different institution. That is to say that when you will be submitting tasks under the solo task, the assumption will be that you, the owner of the account, is the one who is giving that information, and that information relates to you and the institution that you work for. Um, on remote tasks, the assumption will be that you, as the owner of the account or as a tasker, has interviewed someone else and the information you are giving is not your own. That's to say, you will call somebody else and get information according to the survey or about the survey, then you will share. Therefore, there will be some additional information that you will need to share about the individual. One-on-one interviews, on the other hand, are projects where you are required to meet the individual and meet the individual. I'm saying meet the individual, interview him or her, and then again share the information. Now, going back to solo tasks, having said that the account owner is the one who is assumed to be answering or to be taking the survey, you must always take the role or assume the role of the company CEO and appropriately respond to the survey before submitting. What am I trying to say? These surveys, 100% of them actually, when interviewing about institutions or organizations, then they always want somebody who is at an advantage position, uh, to be able to uh, give accurate information about an institution operation. For instance, let's say they are interviewing about a law firm, a certain software that a law firm uses in its daily operations. Let's say, for instance, assuming in an institution we have a general counsel or an associate counsel, and then we have a paralegal or we have a clerk in an institution. while all these people may be using a certain software to run the institution, a person who is at a higher level, let's say that general counsel, will have a deep understanding of that software in terms of, let's say, how it was purchased, its cost, how it operates, who is the provider, yeah, such things, where a clerk maybe who is just been hired will not be able to understand. So, if you are being interviewed about a given project, then you are expected to assume the biggest role. This biggest role will have an advantage. This biggest role will have an advantage that this person will understand how institution runs. Unless as question specifies that they need, for instance, a clerk or a junior officer or something, always assume the biggest role, be it even in a teaching institution, that's a school or what. We have a manager, we have the principal. Those are the people who will have a deep understanding of an institution. So when you will be taking the question, always take that into consideration. Now, there is no further information that's required after you have taken that into consideration and taken the solo task. That is all that will be required. However, I'll be going deeper into the two sections of the solo task, but let me move fast and differentiate it with the remote task. Now, I had indicated that remote tasks are handled with the assumption that the owner of the account is the one holding brief for the company. This is to say that this is to say that you, as the owner of the account, will call someone. Let's say an interview is about garbage collection, let's say in Nairobi, for instance. You will be required. The assumption is that the owner of the account, you live in US, so you will call somebody in Kenya, specifically in Nairobi, hold a call with him, ask all the questions that the kind of survey presents or the questionnaire, right? And then now you will be providing information that is not your own. So this is to say that after you have submitted all that information from him or her, then you will be required to submit additional information as proof that you indeed held the interview. So the additional information that will be required to submit is that the name of that individual. You will also be required to submit the contact of that individual, and also you will be required to submit the name of the company or the institution he works for. Then on top of that, you will submit a screenshot as a picture evidence of the call you had. The screenshot must capture his or her number and the duration, the call duration, the length at which you spoke. So that's basically what will happen under the remote task. So on addition to just taking the survey, that is the additional information that we will be giving. Number three, we have the one-on-one interviews. The one-on-one interviews are barely or actually like the remote tasks, and you will now be required to submit additional information that is to prove your interview, one-on-one interview with that individual. Maybe it will be pictorial evidence and that. So if you are not at UK or US, definitely you cannot take that task. Having said that, as I progress to the two sections, to the sections of the remote task and the solo task, the different sections that they have and how to tackle them. Does anyone have a question? You can unmute and ask your question. Yes?
Hello.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Since we are not in the US or the UK, can we still work on those on the remote tasks?
Yes, we can, and that's what
Eh,
I'm going to teach you on how to
Okay,
go
okay.
about it. Yes.
Okay.
Another question?
let me about about hiyo maneno ya kuprovide screenshot na nini, it must be factual.
I didn't get your question properly. Please.
Kuna mahali ulikuwa unasema you should provide evidence that you talked to someone. So hiyo for example napeana screenshot ya duration mliongea na yeye. So sisi tunajua maybe watu wanataka si watu tunaweza access. So hiyo nini lazima ikuwe factual. Lazima ikuwe real.
It doesn't have to be real, but will be real in some aspects. I'll be teaching you through that. You are just ahead of.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question, maybe? Any other? Okay. So I'll proceed. Now, having said that, we have different sections of every task that you take. I think if you've interacted with the question, you realize once you open, it will show you, if it's a solo task, it will show you some prompt before you proceed, and the same as remote task. Now, we have two sections in remote task, sorry. We have two sections in solo tasks, which are the pre-qualification stage and the main survey. The pre-qualification stage is as well known as the eligibility test stage. The eligibility test stage, yes, where you are expected to qualify before you take the main survey. What am I trying to say? You may encounter, and you will be encountering actually, questions like, let me give you a real example here in Kenya. Let's say the previous example I used, we are doing waste, we want to do something with solid waste management. We want to do a survey, and we want to know how much waste is collected, and we want to know where it is deposited, which institutions collect, and maybe we want to offer an alternative to that. So you will have a survey area dedicated maybe for that. You can either decide if you are doing it in the whole country, well, but if, for instance, you say specifically you want people from Nairobi, so that means that when you will be meeting, when you will be distributing the questionnaires, then you will be giving, there are initial questions which you will ask an individual to qualify to take this test. Maybe you will first ask this individual, where do you live? Let's say if your survey area is in Nairobi, and the individual you have asked the question or you have given the questionnaire ticks as Nairobi, then directly that individual qualifies to continue with giving this information. Why? Because the information he or she will give will be valid for the specific survey we are taking. However, if an individual indicates he comes from Nairobi, yeah, I mean Mombasa, or Eldoret, or any other place, could be Kiambu, anywhere, then that individual doesn't qualify to take this survey. The reason is simple, that the information he or she will give, yes, may be valid, but where we want to do the survey specifically is not covered within your area of residence. This is what happens actually at the eligibility or the pre-qualification stage. You find a question says, we are taking a survey, to do with, let's say, legal firms operating in China and maybe Russia, to understand how maybe this software and that happens. Then you go into the pre-qualification stage. Maybe you are taking a remote task, and they ask you where you come from. The first question. So I hope you are able to see my presentation. That's how the platform looks like for anyone maybe who has not interacted with it. Um,
I can't see anything. I only see green.
Green.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
You can't see this.
No.
Someone else who has the same situation. Anyone else who has the same situation? The insight might be on your end. It may just be network or something. Can you maybe refresh? You can even leave and join. We can wait for you for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else who also has the same issue? Because I'm presenting from my side. If you are able to see the dashboard, maybe you can type one. Let me just introduce it there. And type one so that we don't leave you behind. So guys, this is what I was talking about. As I have been explaining, this is how the dashboard looks like. If you have not interacted with the platform, you will have your dashboard there. On Discover, you will have the jobs, the extra jobs that are
But
here.
I still can't see your presentations. It's usually the name.
You're using your phone or your screen, your laptop.
Laptop.
Let me stop sharing and share again.
So
You are still not able to see.
let me acha nibai na item mzuri. Like inaweza kuwa my wifi iko slow.
Maybe. You're waiting for me, then we proceed. Kuna mtu anafaa kumute hapo tafadhali. Immediately you are back, just type one ndo tuendelee. Because we're keeping the rest on wait. Wilbur, when you are admitting back, please tell me.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm saying ukimuadmit back, huyo mwenye ametoka, uniambie ni proceed. I cannot realize from
Okay, I've already added two other participants here.
Okay.
You can brief them as we move on, as you wait for the
Okay, that one is okay.
ready.
You will not actually, it's not only on solo tasks. When you will be taking these tasks, unless specified otherwise, you will always pick the biggest role in an institution. And I gave an example, like for instance, if it's on a law firm, for instance, and we have a clerk, we have a paralegal, we have a general counsel, such. The person who is at an advantage position to understand the operations let's say they are using a certain software to run the institution. Let's say software ndo wanatumia huko kutoka kwa registration, ukiingia you check in your files, storage files zao nini, all that. A person who is at an advantage position to understand about this software ni mtu mwenye ako at a higher position. Let's say ataelewa how much it was procured, from where do you get the software, yeah, and such stuff. Mtu ambaye ako juu kidogo ataelewa, even though you are using the software. So you will always be required to assume the role of that bigger person. Let it be that even if you are interviewing somebody using a remote, you must always pick the highest role that you see. If it's even in a school setup, a principal or a manager or the CEO, if it has that, has a higher chance of understanding, a probability of understanding the basic operations of an institution. The only situation you will pick a lower position is a situation where the question specifies so. So that is the basic of any survey project you do. Now, on solo task, I've said you will assume you are the one who is answering the question. They are assuming, so you will only be taking up an eligibility test and a main survey, and you complete it there. However, the remote task, there will be 3 stages, which will be you will do the pre-qualification with or the eligibility test, and you will also take the main survey. Then you will submit additional details because you interviewed someone else, and the information you submitted is not your own. On one-on-one interview, we say that's a situation where you will need to meet somebody, unless you are in US or UK. You will be required to provide proof of maybe the 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 pictorial evidence that you met. So that one, we don't advise you to take it. And if you have associated with the account, you have realized they rarely exist. Now, on the additional details at remote task, the additional details include 4 things. Number one, it's the name of the individual, the name of the company he or she works for, his contact, and the name, the screenshot of the call that you had. So you will have to always keep that in mind. Further, I had indicated something to do with the pre-qualification stage because it cuts across all the types of projects we'll be doing. At the pre-qualification stage, I gave an example here, and I said, let's say that somebody is doing a survey in Nairobi.
Let me join it my phone and see.
Okay, you will see. Now, what I'm saying is this, like for instance, good people, you can see here, we have a task here indicated as gaming trends and features purchase intent. The total credit is 18, but maximum credit per task is 3, and the task is a multi-type. It means it has the remote section and the solo task. So once you take the solo, you will be paid 3, for instance. A remaining 15 is there. So what does that mean? You can submit 6 more responses. Is it 6, 5? 5 more responses under remote task. You can interview 5 different people and still get the total credit. The other one here, multi-type again, it's indicated total credit is 100, maximum per person is 20. That means that you will take a 20 for one singular person each, one submission each. So you take a solo you can only submit once, you finish. You remain with 80. So you can submit 4 more interviews and still earn the total credit of 100. As up to that point, including those who have joined us because they joined us late a bit, I've done a recap for that. Does anyone has a question? Because now I'm moving into demonstrating a question from the first to the end. I'll take a remote task because once I do a remote task, it will have also demonstrated the solo task. I will explain how. Does anyone have a question? Yeah. Kuna wale uliza there, I think you guys may ask me at some point in a leap after how long. So project kama inaisha 6th March, hapo ndo itakuwa imefanyiwa review na hapo ndo italipiwa. Now going back to your question, it says this survey aims to better understand how individuals engage with video games and their interest in upcoming releases. If you are an active video game player or own a gaming device, this assignment is for you. You realize guys, hii question haijatuambia unatoka US ama UK. Automatically you will have to choose the country which your account exists in. If it's US, it's US. Now, you asked me what happens if the question, it indicates at the solo level that you have to come from UK and then but your account is existing in US. Actually, that question will not hapo hatungekuwa na hii submit a response option, hapo ingekuwa tu na option ya remote, because it's like it's automated in a way. So in whatever task you will be taking, kama imeappear at solo, inamaanisha it's existing in your area of where the account is existing, so you can take it. I've not seen a situation where at the solo they are saying they're only interviewing people from UK. Then if it's so, I don't know if somebody else has a UK account. I'll see if I have one here. Utapata kuna time uko na account ya US na mwingine ako na ya UK, kuna swali unapata iko kwa account ya UK na iko kwa US. So that's what happens. Haiwezi leta swali hapa na inataka mtu wa UK na account yako in exist US. That can only happen kwa remote, but kwa solo it doesn't. Are you answered, my good friend?
Sawa. Alafu unaweza fanya remote na ukose kufanya solo.
Yes, okay. You can.
Yeah.
You can as well even do solo and leave remote alone. You can as well do both of them. That's no problem. So let me take a remote task so that I'm able to submit. The question says, it's the same question. The task details are that you may interview a friend or a contact with a video game player, or you may call individuals who own gaming consoles or PCs and interview active gamers about their gaming habits and interest in upcoming game releases. And they're saying you can interview up to 2 interviews. This, I think, is just an incorrect extra task detail, because ukiangalia hapa juu imesema maximum responses ni 5. So inaweza kuwa tu it was initially before they added the chances. So now we have our instructions. For me on my side, I'm taking a picture. Yeah. I'm taking a picture. Or the other option you can be doing, guys, is taking a screenshot of the instructions on your laptop. And then I will say submit response. As you can see, they have indicated what do we expect. We expect the eligibility. This is the pre-qualification stage which I was talking about. Then we get the main survey. Then we will enter the interview details. Those are the 3 details I said, guys: the number, the contact, the name of the company, and the name of the individual. Then we will have the attachment or proof of interview where we will submit the contact we had. And on the attachment, one thing that has to be clear is the number, lazima ionekane na hiyo period mmeongea ama call duration mmeongea. So having said that, I'll move to start eligibility check. So before you start, you will just accept and start. Very nice. Now, once you open your task, yes, very nice. Once you open your task, first question is, now we are at the pre-qualification stage. You can see hapa ime number ni number 1 huko juu. So please make sure that the person you are interviewing is ready. So you will just continue. Now, in which of the following countries are you located? Now guys, ukifanya remote usisahauingi hii kitu. Ukifanya remote sio kama solo. Unaweza extra details wakaongeza, we seek to interview people coming from China, coming from Kenya and what. So it's important to take a picture so that unaweza fika hii stage bado udhani unafanya solo, uende US na upate kwa remote hawako wanataka mtu wa US na UK, you know. So it's very important to take the picture, and on our station we were not given the instructions, so I can pick US and proceed. How old are you? Yeah, again, I'll refer to my notes, to my picture, because that sometimes wanaweza kuambia we are seeking to interview middle-aged men, young or old. Ukuja hapa wanataka old, you select 18. So definitely you don't qualify. So how old are you? For instance, here I can pick 18 to 24 because they have not specified. Then I say, are you a current video game player? The first one is yes, I play video games once a week. That makes sense. The second one, yes, I play games less than a week. That makes sense. No, I've never been a video game player. You see, guys, if you say you have never been a video game player and they're interviewing us about video game players, as you read at the instructions, then do you think you will qualify? The answer is no, because you will not have any information to give. So you will have to pick. The third one says no. The other one says I don't know. So you see the correct answers are either one or two. So I can even pick the second and say next. Now, which of the following devices do you play games on? Now, the task details are you may call individuals who own gaming consoles or PCs. Yeah? So it may be a gaming PC, it may be a PlayStation, it may be what else? Yeah, mobile apps. Those are just games also. You can pick Xbox, anything you want.
Xbox.
Yeah, and then you will proceed. Yeah. Now, our next question is what is your normal budget for video games? I regularly purchase, that's the first one. Sometimes I play free games and occasionally purchase, that's the second one. I only play free games, that's the third one. All those answers make sense. Yeah. I only play old video games that I have owned for several. All those answers make sense. You just pick one. But however, I want to ask you that when you are taking this question, pick your best answer. Which is the most appropriate answer that can prompt you to continue with this? It says, I regularly purchase video games and make in-game purchases. Because this is about video games, maybe this is somebody who wants to know if you buy, so that they offer alternatives. Maybe they tell you, if we bring this, are you able to buy or something? So just pick the best. I've picked number one and I've proceeded. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to try out new features or enhancements introduced? Always pick the best. I can say 9 to 10 and you proceed. You can even choose the others. I'm not saying that you will not proceed because that's not specified on the instructions. However, I'm just advising that you pick the best. So you see, guys, we have completed the eligibility check and we are now moving into the main survey. Anyone who has a question as to that point, I've pressed on continue to main survey.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Hizi question zina reflect kwa profile, zinafaa zikuwe same na zenye ziko kwa profile. For instance, hapo kwa age, assuming profile yako iko na age ya 30 years alafu na select 18 to 24, will it affect?
Kwa remote it affect, but kama kwa, okay, we advise people not to set up your profile completely. The reason is huwa inachuja, but kuna watu unaweza kuwa comfortable with kuchuja. I'm saying it filters, like let's say, si kama umesema you are dealing with law or what, tax zako zote za solo zitakuwa zinakuja ni za law, hautawahi ona project ya nyingine, unaona. So option utakuwa nao mingi ni ya kujaza remote. However, if you decide to fill in, which actually pia ina shida, ukiamua uchague, then ukifanya solo task na huko ulisema your profile uko na 18 to 24, you will always use that. But kwa remote it's very different. So on this instance, hii account hata ni mpya, by the way, hii yenye nimefungua, sijaweka anything kwa profile, and the task I'm doing is remote, so the information I'm even giving is not about the owner of the account. Are you answered?
Yes, I'm answered. Na for this interview, for this survey, tukisema 18 to 24, then the next survey is 5 to 28. Will it affect?
Yes.
For this survey, nikisema my age is 18 to 24, then the next survey niseme 26 to 28. It affect ama hizi task ziko independent?
Ziko independent. Ukifanya hiyo remote, okay, you are talking about remote ama kwa solo? We are on remote, si ndio?
Kwa remote.
Yeah, ni watu.
Or unaweza explain zote kwa remote na kwa solo nielewe.
Yeah, that's the same thing I had said. Kama profile yako umeindicate an exact age, when taking solo task, always indicate that age. But on doing remote, hata ukiindicate different ages when doing different submissions, ila tuseme tufanye hii, nimalize, and then niseme, nikishamaliza, niseme I have decided again to redo, ama to submit another one. These are different person. So hata nikiweka hii age ingine ama nirudie hiyo, haina pressure.
Sawa.
So another question.
Niulize another question ni
Mm.
hiyo wakati juu hapo mwanzoni ulikuwa umeongelea maneno ya review.
Mm.
Ni account owners ndo wana review ama the customer ama nani anafanya hiyo review?
Mm?
Unaona mali ulikuwa unatuambia mali date ikiishia malipo inaanza.
Mm.
Then ulikuwa umesema this happens after review.
Mm.
So nilikuwa nataka kujua nani ana review, ni watu wa the owners wa account ama ni customer mwenyewe?
That one, you know, it may be difficult to say because I may be assuming it's the one of the platform, but I was referring to that to mean that immediately that's unaona kama ina close hiyo ndo pesa inatoka, like that's the point I was projecting. So I don't know who reviews.
Unajua nilikuwa nauliza hivyo juu sasa unajua hiyo tuseme kama hiyo maneno ya unapata survey iko na solo na remote. Then sasa kwa solo umeweka maybe tuseme kama age umeweka 24. Then apart from that unataka kufanya hizi remote survey hadi ziishe. So kama ni customer anafanya hiyo review, actually I'm not sure kama ataona hizo ni zote zimetoka kwa mtu mmoja ama
sijakuelewa vizuri though.
Unaona nini, tuseme kama hiyo for example kama hii yenye tunafanya sasa hivi iko na solo alafu iko na remote alafu hapo ulikuwa umeona unaweza fanya 5 responses. So umefanya solo yako umemaliza, na kwa solo ukiifanya ulikuwa umeweka maybe age limit age yako ni 24. Then si unaenda hapo kwa remote. Then kwa remote nimekuelewa.
Haina shida because still hata ukifanya hiyo remote si hiyo majibu si yako, ni ya mtu mwingine.
Yeah, nimekuelewa.
Yeah. So let me proceed guys, and you to move na time pia. So gaming trends, we are in the main survey. Thank you for agreeing to participate in this survey. The first section will ask about information you may possess. Are you able to participate in this paid survey without violating the terms of your employment? You say yes, and you move. The reason is simple, like you are not violating any terms taking this. The second one is, are you able to participate in this paid survey without violating any specific duty or requirement of confidentiality to which you or your company may subject, including, for example, any duty arising from an undisclosure agreement? That one you just say yes. You are giving them the assurance that you will not interrupt anything. Are you able to participate in this paid survey without violating obligations to any consulting clients? Yes. The next one, do you confirm that you will not share any information that could constitute price sensitive? Yes. You're giving them the assurance. Yes. The next one, do you confirm that you will not provide any information that identifies you or your employer in any comment box in the survey? And that you will decline to answer any question in the survey if doing so does not comply with obligations. You give them an assurance and you move. They are saying the next survey, the next questions, the next section will ask additional questions about information you may possess. Do you possess any non-public information subject to a duty confidentiality regarding Tech2 interactive software? You see something like this, you are not aware of it, and you don't possess the information. If you are not sure of this, unaweza ichukua tu Google, or what is this about? So you will just say no. Do you possess any non-public information that may... Hii software inaweza kuwa ndio ina develop hiyo game. So I've imagined on my end, and said again, so I don't possess any information. Do you currently serve, or have you within the last 12 months served as an employee for Tech2 Interactive Software? No. Is there any person to whom you are closely related, either spouse, employed at that? No. We move forward. Now, the next section will ask about some of your favorite applications. Next. So in which of the following countries you are located in? Guys, I have picked United States, so I will again pick the same. In the question imejirudia. How old are you? This one imejirudia. I'll again pick 18 to 24, like I picked. Bado ni huyo mtu anapo interview. Are you current a video game? Are you a current video game player? Yes, I had picked the second. I play them less than one times a week. Which of the following devices do you play games on? Hapa pia tulikuwa tumechagua PlayStation, mobile na gaming PC. Xbox nilichagua na nikatoa. So I'll not pick it. I proceed. What is your normal budget? I picked I regularly purchase video games and make in-purchase games. That's the first one, the one I picked. And they are saying you have qualified for this survey. This next question will ask about your future spend interest for GTA. So GTA 6 hiyo ndo watatuuliza. What genre of video games do you play? Hapa hatujaulizwa swali kama hiyo, inaweza kuwa ni adventure, inaweza kuwa ni shooters, inaweza kuwa ni sports, any, or you can pick all of them and you proceed. Now, which platform do you regularly play on? Inaweza kuwa ni PlayStation na mobile ama na PC. Proceed. Which of the following games do you currently play regularly? Inaweza kuwa unacheza League of Legends, Minecraft, Roblox, whatever. Ama zote, no guys. And you move. Do you play online games? Yes or no? You just say yes and you move next. So guys, you realize now the answers I'm picking are up to me. When is the last time you purchased a new video game? It's about last 3 months, 4 to 12, anything, no more. Have you ever purchased a video game when it was newly released? You can say yes frequently, or yes but not frequently, or no. Now it's just your answers. Which of these video games are you interested in purchasing in the next year? Labda unataka kununua hii, unataka kununua hii, unataka kununua zote. For instance, wacha nichague zote hapa. So move to next. None. How likely are you to buy GTA assuming the base game price is $69? Hapa wametupea from 0 to 100. Maybe you can definitely buy at 100, you can buy at 75, you can buy at 50. Maybe I probably won't buy the year 25%. No, just pick anything and proceed. How likely are you to buy GTA price ikiwa 99? So wame increase price hapo, so unaweza sema ni 75 ama 50%. Yeah. You actively play Grand Theft Auto? Maybe you do, maybe occasionally, maybe I no longer play. Yeah, just pick something and move. Did you watch the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer? Maybe you watched, yes. You currently own a video game console? Maybe you say yes. What generation of gaming console do you use? PS5, PS6, Xbox, what? Anything. And you say next. Will you consider upgrading your game console to play a new one? Yes, maybe, and you move. Or if you are unsure, you do that. How likely are you to buy Nintendo Switch 2 when it's released? Maybe 50%, maybe 60, and 75. Guys, I'm doing it real quick, just demonstrating how easy it is once now you are in the main survey. I hope I'm audible. Yes. Now, will you play a video game with a monthly paid subscription model? Maybe you are willing, maybe you are not sure. No, you are not. Anything, give them an assurance you can, you say yes and you move. Now, we have finished the survey. Mnaona hapo inasema inatu redirect to an additional details. Very nice. Can you see, guys? Now we are successfully submitted. We are going to interview details. We add interview details. So guys, up to that point, vile mmeona nimefanya hadi hapo, hiyo ndio information tu inahitajika kwa solo task. Hakuna hizi additional details tunaanza kujaza saa hii, because hizo additional details wako nazo from your account. Wanajua kama hii account hapa inaitwa Rachel Beatrice, they have the name. Kama ni namba, unilogin na namba wako nayo. Yes, that is it.